Hi guys, my name is Christine, and today I am talking about the 5 best ideas that I got from the book by Mel Robbins called The High Five Habit. Now, I actually experimented with the High Five Habit. I've made a couple of videos on it. I made a video where I did the High Five Habit for 5 days, which is actually my most popular video on this channel. And another video which was me describing what had happened to me after I'd done the High Five Habit for 25 days. So if you want evidence of the benefits of doing the high five habit, then please go and check out those videos. So anyway, today I'm going to be talking about the book, well, more specifically the audiobook, because that's the version of the book that I have. I have the audiobook version of it on Audible. And basically, I'm just going to go through with you the 5 best ideas that I personally got, the 5 best takeaways that I got from the High Five Habit by Mel Robbins. So I've got a list here, and I'm going to go through with you those 5 best ideas, those big, best 5 takeaways from the High Five Habit. So the first biggest takeaway is obviously the habit itself, actually doing the habit, actually going up to the mirror and giving yourself a high five. And I'll tell you why this is one of the best takeaways and why it's comes first, right? It's because it really does impact you in a very positive way. Like when I do it, like I find myself not judging myself as much in front of the mirror. That's probably the biggest experience I've had from it. And because, generally when we go up to the mirror, we go up there to kind of, in a way, criticize ourselves in a sense. So you go and look at your outfit and you think, oh my God, I look so fat in this, or I look too thin in this, or my hair looks really bad today, or I've got loads of spots today, whatever it is. Usually when we go to a mirror, we end up, whether or not that was our intention or not, we end up picking ourselves apart and looking at the things that we find negative. But if you purely go to the mirror and do a high five first, then you feel a little more lighthearted. You feel a lot more fun when you go to the mirror and you don't criticize yourself as much. I'm not saying that you will never criticize yourself again, because I definitely still, sometimes have moments where I'm looking in the mirror and I'm going, oh God, what are you? You're a mess, basically. But generally, when I go to the mirror and I do a high five, that doesn't happen as often. And it does give you a boost of excitement, a boost of fun energy, a boost of enjoyable energy. And I think we all need excuses to feel good. And if going up to the mirror and giving yourself a high five makes you feel good, then that's great. You should do more of that. We should all be doing more of those things that make us feel good. So that's obviously the first point, the habit itself, actually being consistent and going to the mirror each day and giving yourself that high five. So the next biggest idea that I got from the high five habit from by Mel Robbins is the high fiving your heart. And basically what you do with this is Mel Robbins describes it as she does this in the morning in bed when she's feeling anxious. But this is basically what she does. She puts her hands like this and she says these 3 mantras. I think it's 3 anyway, but she says, I'm okay, I'm safe, and I'm loved. And I've actually used this in a situation where I was feeling really, really anxious. So me and my wife were in the process of moving. Things are kind of stressful. And anyway, we went to the new area that we're moving to. And we had a really, really busy day. We was doing all sorts of different things. And it got kind of stressful. And on our drive back to our where we live now here, I started getting heart palpitations on the drive back home, and I started to feel really lightheaded, and I realized what I was having was some kind of like anxiety attack, some kind of panic attack, because this kind of happens. And I checked my Fitbit, my heart rate had gone up, and this sometimes happens to me when I've had a particular, a really busy or stressful day where I've had to do 100 things in a very short period of time, and that's exactly what that day was. But anyway, I did that thing, I put my hands on my heart, and I said, I'm okay, I am safe, I am loved. And I did that for, about 10 minutes. And my wife was obviously trying to comfort me as well as this was happening. By the way, I wasn't driving, my wife was driving. And anyway, after doing this for a good 10 minutes, it may have been less or may have been more, I can't remember exactly. But after doing that for a while and doing that mantra, I started to feel a lot better. And my heart rate went down, I felt more calm. and I just felt better from doing that. So that's kind of my experience with that. It's something that I've done. It's something that I've practiced. When I've had those kinds of moments where I'm feeling anxious or I'm feeling a bit unsure of myself, sometimes it helps when you're just feeling a bit discouraged. Obviously going up to the mirror and giving yourself a high five helps with that as well. But, when you, are feeling sad, just doing that and putting pressure, just a tiny bit of pressure there where you're saying that can make you feel like you're in a tight blanket, like you're being swaddled in a way, and it reassures you, it self-soothes you. So that's the second biggest takeaway that I got from the high five habit. So the third big takeaway that I got from the high five habit is using the high five habit to encourage others. So what I've been doing is when I'm been interacting with family members or my wife, and I can tell that they're struggling a little bit, it may be the case that they've got a job interview coming up, or they're just not feeling very confident in themselves about their abilities, then what I do is I sneakily give them a high five without telling them what I'm doing. I say, oh, you're going to be fine, high five. And then they obviously, the instant reaction when someone puts up their hand to give you a high five is you put your hand back up as well and high five them as well. And it is encouraging. It is a nice thing to do. And I do notice when I high five people, they feel a little bit more happy afterwards, right? And even if it's just a slight difference, it's still a difference. And any difference, especially in a positive direction, is amazing and it's beneficial. So, that's why I did it. That's why I, high five, people in my life. And I've been doing that since I've read the book, since I listened to the audiobook, I should say. And it has helped them in a way. Obviously, again, this is something that I don't actually tell them. I'm not saying, I'm going to give you a high five now and you're going to feel really encouraged. I just do it. And without telling them what I'm doing. And I noticed that their mood has uplifted, right? And that's good. I mean, even if the results aren't astronomical, even if their mood is just slightly lifted, I see that as a bonus, okay? I don't see why not, right? Why not? Even if it's just a slight difference, a difference is still a difference, okay? So the fourth biggest takeaway, best idea that I personally got from the High Five Habit by Mel Robbins is to don't procrastinate on your dream. So there was a story in the High Five Habit that Mel gives. It's getting towards near the end of the book. And basically she gets in a cab and her cab driver is called Eduardo and she's talking to him and they're kind of, I think it's Chicago or they're somewhere. But basically he wants to become an actor. And she says to him, well, why aren't you in LA? And they're not in, and he's, a cab driver, an Uber driver, who's not living in LA, which is obviously the best place to go if you want to become an actor in the United States. So she basically, says to him, don't procrastinate on your dream, go for it. If you really want to be an actor, then you should definitely try and do that. And he has kind of like a load of excuses that says, oh, well, I've only got like $700. And then stuff like that, and he feels like he can't afford to live there. And she's like, well, great, that's $700 would get you to LA, and you, if you've got any friends out there and you can stay with them, find somewhere to live, be a sofa surfer or a couch surfer, just stay on someone's couch for a while you're doing it. And I think that's really important that if you have a dream about doing something, no matter what it is, at some point you do need to take action on it. You do need to, take that leap of faith, stop procrastinating, and actually go for it, encouraging yourself. Because basically what I think Mel is trying to say with this story is, if you are not high-fiving yourself, high-fiving your dreams, then that's why you're procrastinating. That's why you're not doing it. But your dreams deserve encouragement. They deserve your effort. Otherwise, you wouldn't have them in the first place. Like, if you are like Eduardo and you want to become an actor, if you weren't destined for that dream, then you wouldn't have had that thought to begin with. You wouldn't, you may have, everyone may have had a thought once upon a time to become an actor. But if this is a prolonged thought and it's something you think about all the time and it is a dream of yours, then you need to find a way that you can actually do it. You need to start taking action on it, right? So don't procrastinate on your dreams, because if you procrastinate on your dreams, basically you are, slamming a door right in their face. You're You're not treating them with the respect that they obviously deserve. And they deserve that respect because obviously they are something that's inside your heart. There's something that you want to accomplish. There's something that you want to do, right? So don't procrastinate on your dreams. Don't be like Eduardo. Although, Mel said in the book she doesn't really know where he is. Perhaps he did go to LA. No one really knows where he's at. But, don't procrastinate on your dream. Go for it, whatever it is. If you have a dream of starting a business, start looking up what you can do about that. Start, find a website domain. Start writing a blog, or start thinking of products that you can sell on your website. Start doing it. Start taking action on those things, and don't procrastinate on them. And the last best idea that I got from the high five habit is basically the law of attraction. And Mel has an amazing story about how she manifested a painting in the book. And it's a really beautiful story. I cannot do it justice, so I highly recommend that you get the book yourself, or you listen to her talking about that, because I think she has a clip on her YouTube channel where she's describing the painting story. And she can tell it, and she will tell it much more better and more beautifully than what I ever could, obviously because it's her own experience. But basically what she's saying by this story is everything's going to work out fine. And, you can't really see how things are meant to be when you're in them. You can only kind of, look at things after they've happened and see that they were divinely orchestrated, right? So only from, being at a point now can you understand why things in the past have happened to you. But it's very difficult to understand that in the moment. But things are leading to where you're meant to be. Things are happening in the right direction. Things will be all right in the end, and it will all make sense in the end. And that's what she is basically saying by that story. At least that's what I interpreted. And, when it comes to the law of attraction as well, if you feel like something is meant for you, like if you really have, and basically how you know that is you have a strong desire for it and it's something you think about all the time. Kind of like what I said previously about that guy who wanted to be an actor. Like, you may once have had a dream to write a book, but because it wasn't something you think about all the time, then maybe it's not meant for you. But if it's something you think about all the time, you have to allow that. You have to realize, what, this is something I really want. Otherwise, I wouldn't be dreaming about it all the time. So if that's the case for you, then you so need to, start taking action on those dreams so you can help the law of attraction. And the best way that you can do that, obviously, as well, is to feel good and to allow it into your experience. Because if you're feeling bad about it, then you're not in a very good place of pulling that into your life. So you need to get in a very good, happy frame of mind. And take action and take inspired action. So when you get the thought, whenever you get any kind of like inspired action, something that you should do, something you could do that may make a difference, then do it. So for example, this is how this video was made. I was thinking of, I wonder what I could do for my channel. I wonder what I could do that the audience might be interested in. And, I was looking at my analytics, and it seems like most of my audience watches Mel Robbins. So I thought, well, maybe I should just do another Mel Robbins video. My other videos that I've done about Mel Robbins and the high five habit has been successful. So why don't I try and actually do one actually about the book and the things that I found really interesting in the book and my biggest takeaways from it. So that's why I did this, because I got that inspired thought to make this video, and now I'm doing it. Right? So, that's what you need to do. You need to allow, how can I do this? How can I get what I want? How can I achieve the things that I want to achieve? How can I attract that success that I'm looking for? How can I do it? And then the thoughts and the ideas will start flowing in. And when you get that inspired one, that think, yes, that's the one, that's the idea, then take action on it, right? And if you feel discouraged before taking action, go to the mirror, do the high five. Do the high five your heart and just say that I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm loved, I can do this, it's okay, right? And then take action on it, and do it, because and do it in a way that's fun, that you enjoy. You don't have to do it in a way that is bringing you down or you find stressful. You find a way that, because, as you can tell right now, if I hated doing this video, then you would be able to tell by my body language. But as you can see, I'm excited, I'm enjoying what I'm talking about. And, that's the kind of energy that you need to kind of muster up to actually do those things, right? And when you are doing it with that kind of energy, then it's going to feel more fun. It's going to feel more enjoyable. But if you're kind of like slugging around, and you're tired and you're feeling horrible, then yeah, whatever action you're going to do is probably not going to be very effective, and it's probably not going to feel good doing it. And we all deserve to feel better in our lives. We all deserve to feel good in our lives. So, find the enthusiasm. And if you're not feeling enthusiastic, then do something that does feel like it has a lot of enthusiasm. Do something that does inspire you, that does create that great amount of energy where you feel happy and on point and deserving and just in connection to everything, So just get to that happy place, get to that happy feeling, and you'll be able to manifest great things into your life. And if you need that boost, then go to the mirror and do the high five, or do the high five on your heart. And I guarantee you'll feel better, right? And I can only go from my own experience. Does this habit work? I believe that it does. It's worked for me. It makes me feel better. It makes me feel good. It helps me calm down. It helps me feel more encouraged. It helps me feel more inspired. So I highly recommend, if you haven't started doing the high five habit, then try it out. It doesn't require much effort. All you have to do is just go to a mirror and give yourself a high five. That's literally all you have to do. And I hope you will begin to notice the difference. And I personally believe that you will begin to notice the difference, especially if you're going towards it and taking action on it with the right attitude. So those were my biggest 5 takeaways from the high five habit by Mel Robbins. If I get, let's say 20 likes on this video, then I will do one for the other book that Mel Robbins made, which was called The 5-Second Rule, which is another great book, another great audiobook that I love. So if you would like me to make a video on that one, then leave a like on this video. And I shall talk to you guys again very soon. Goodbye.